This program was brought to you by Organo Gold. Organo Gold is a health and wellness company that provides healthy coffees, teas, and chocolate. All one has to do is consume the available products to get all the available benefits. One can also share these products with others to help them improve their health as well. For more information, call 703-359-5642 or visit the website basillemba.com.
And now, Fairfax Breakfast Club with your host, Basil Lemba.
Welcome to the Fairfax Breakfast Club show. My name is Basil Lemba and I will be your host. The Fairfax Breakfast Club is a weekly program in which we bring to you valuable and workable know-how you can use to improve your networking skills and grow your business. We always start the show with a quote, and today's quote is, "I am a great believer that any tool that enhances communication has profound effects in terms of how people can learn from each other and how they can achieve the kind of freedoms that they are interested in." That is from Bill Gates. With us today in the studio, we have someone who provides devices that will help you enhance communication. And his name is Tom Hafley. Hello, Tom.
Hi, Basil. Nice to see you again.
Good, same here. So tell us about your company.
Well, OPENITY, we got that company going about a year ago. Mm-hmm. We specialize in mobile communications, so cell phones, and how we bring those together to kind of defragment what's going on in the communications today. Everybody's looking light years ahead. We want to look around and see what's there today, maybe build some special solutions that glue it together, and make it easy for people with today's technology to communicate, related to your quote, enhance their lives and be able to talk when and there where they want to, regardless of the infrastructure around them. So.
Okay. Very good. Let me ask you this first question I have. The name of your company, where did you get that and why did you get that name?
OPENITY came around talking with a branding expert and with the desire to not be limited to a certain type of communication. So the open comes from wanting to be open and look at multiple ideas, multiple communication structures, and IT just for the IT part to pull it together. But really, we had kicked around things like smart cell for cellular and some other ideas, but OPENITY just struck home. We wanted to make it a little bit more open. So when people heard about it, they wanted to think about it and maybe try and figure out what we are and how that applied to what we're doing. So it gives us freedom to expand.
Sure, absolutely. Now you said most people are looking ahead while you're looking at right now. Can you give me an example or explain so me and the guests can get a clear example of it?
Sure. So I think it's almost a travesty sometimes. You buy a phone and within 2 months, 3 months, the next greatest thing is out, or at least it's out in marketing materials. What we do is we take a look what's around us and how can we leverage that technology. So right now everybody's looking forward to LTE and pushing data, higher rates of data and getting that to the end user on the device. What we are looking at is how can we get you your calls where you want them, allow you to work with your provider on your data plans, but get voice off the network and push it. So for instance, the portal. We have a couple major lines of equipment that we've built. We've designed from square one, designed the PCB, designed the whole unit, bent the metal, made it from scratch. And the portal is a GSM to VoIP gateway. So we've integrated cellular phones into a rack mount chassis with a VoIP, voice over IP infrastructure on the back end, that now we can pull your phone calls off the network and route them back to the VoIP infrastructure anywhere in the world through SIP trunks or DIDs. This
is that one of the devices that you sent me a picture of?
It is. It's the OPENITY portal. Sent you a picture of that. It's a 32-channel GSM to VoIP gateway. And what niche we like to use that in is for a larger customer, small to medium business, but typically the larger businesses, to help get the phones off the desk. In other words, I still have a desk phone, but I don't use it that often. I have my personal phone, and in this portal system, we put a SIM card, and that's the number I give out for my business contacts. So a person will call me through that portal system, it'll route to my phone. If I choose, and it'll pass the caller ID and show me who's calling in. If I choose to answer that, I answer, and perhaps maybe I need the secretary to take the call or one of the technicians to take the call. Then from our app, I can actually, from an incoming mobile call, hit a transfer and send that person to the individual on the PBX that needs the call. Typically, when you get a call forwarded to your cell phone, you can't transfer back into the office PBX.
Okay.
Well, with a portal supported by our core, then you can. So it's a way to take today's technology and use it to its advantage in the office setting. Bring your own device is a very popular topic right now. What does an employer do? Do they buy you a phone? Do they buy their employees phones? Well, this allows someone to put a subscriber, a SIM card into the gateway, configure it for that employee, and say, look, I know you don't want to carry two phones. Your phone is probably better than the one I was going to give you anyways. And, and you don't have to carry two. Just give out your business number. That number comes in through the portal, in through the company PBX, routes to their phone, and then they're only using one device. So.
I gotcha. Is it you the first to have, this is something you put together yourself, your company? Or is it
is.
For somebody else?
GSM to VoIP gateways aren't new. To my knowledge, we're the only US manufacturer that makes them. And the reason we did that was because we were using some others from Europe and we hated it. We went with the idea of we should not have to navigate through 15 different pages with 30 different settings on each page to set up a gateway. So ours, literally out of the box, you unpack it out of the box, plug it in, connect your laptop or your computer, and within 6 clicks, you can be making a phone call.
Oh, wow.
So it's really designed for a business that doesn't want the added overhead and to hire somebody that knows, mobile protocols and what ISUPs are and all these technical terms, but just wants to say, I want to connect my phone, I want to connect my cell phone, and I want to make and receive calls. So.
Okay. And what are the customers that are being interested now in your product? Who's showing interest?
The first rounds, there's some government entities that we're discussing, how we integrate that into their existing PBXs, because we do integrate into legacy PBXs as well, and how they can offload and utilize the things I just mentioned to get their customers or get their employees active. So there's government people. And then oil and gas is really interested so far. So the oil and gas community, they typically have a very distributed network. So if you connect some of these pieces of hardware across, some in Europe, some in America, and then tie your existing company's network together, then you're routing calls from a mobile phone in the UK perhaps to Texas, and you're paying local mobile rates in the UK and local mobile rates in Texas, but you're calling each other. So those distributed networks. So, but that's where it's hit home. But the portal is more geared for that larger presence. We have that supported by our core, which is our in-house PBX that we designed from scratch. Again, wanting to just keep things simple, wanting to hide all the menus that a typical IT person would go through. We've set them up in a logical format to allow somebody to just connect either just phones or these or this gateway together and go. And those together are powerful tools.
Okay, that's interesting, because in looking into technology, we're more looking for simplification.
Yeah.
And nothing wrong with the latest, the greatest, what have you, but I think it wiped people out that you barely started, you're already behind, you got to catch on the one. I mean, I can understand the repeat business or sales on that, but for example, I had a computer, it went down and I got another one, but I'm not necessarily into, it's kind of like, why wouldn't you buy something you can use for a while, you know?
Yeah. So simplification is huge, and to be honest, you know, the older I get, the more technical everything gets, and I just want simple, you know, and especially in these times when you're trying to analyze your business and see what costs you have to have and see where you can cut costs, if you don't need, you know, the IT infrastructure to set up your phone systems and whatnot, if they're easy enough to where you can see, oh, it makes sense, connect the phone and I can make a call, you know, then it should be that simple, and that's what we strive for. Yeah.
It can be. I mean, because these powerful technology we're talking about should be able to be simplified at the same time.
Yep, and that's one of the main things we try and do, and then simplify it, and then make it to where when you want to have it, you can. For instance, our bridge that's just been announced. We did a strategic teaming with Global Star, which is a mobile satellite services company, and we developed for them as a VAR and a products development partner a unit we call the bridge, and it's essentially a VoIP to satellite appliance. So we can connect any smartphone with the appropriate app. You can buy one of our apps, or you can download an open source app, and then anywhere when you drive off and out of macro service, so out of the cellular service, your smartphone will access the bridge and route a call back into the network. It's DC powered, so it will go in your car, in your boat, your vehicle. It presents Wi-Fi out, so it puts a bubble of coverage, so to speak, in your vehicle. We were driving over the holidays, and I let my son attach his iPod Touch to the device, so he was calling his friends and receiving calls as we drove down 81 to the in-laws, and he held conversations 15, 20 minutes in satellite coverage. We don't buy him a phone yet, he's 12, but this gives him phone access when we let him. So it really is simple, like you said, but it expands the coverage. So if you're driving out, I mean, if you go west of the Mississippi, there are a lot of areas without coverage. Close here, there's some areas without coverage. But when you drive out, you no longer have to be without your communications. You can always shut it off, because I know there's times we don't want to be bothered, but it's there. Receive and make calls, and it just makes life easy when you need to have that connection.
Wow, that's very interesting. Very interesting. Now, where do you see this going into the future, or how much of impact can that have?
Well, the bridge itself, or in general?
In general.
In general, you know, the TDM, the old networks are the gold standard, but certainly voice over IP networks are making a huge push to take that over. As we converge on IP, you know, on internet being plugged in everywhere, then these voice over IP technologies will come. And first, people look at them for price. They're generally cheaper. So a copper line is typically $100 or more. Our voice over IP lines start at $40 with all the bells and whistles, with conference bridges, with personal directories that you can set up yourselves, with voicemail to email, so it'll email your voicemail when it comes in, to, you know, all the standard PBX. But as that happens, people generally look for price. But what they're finding out is price is great, and wow, we have a whole lot to choose from. We have all these benefits of going with these networks. And with our hosted service, which takes our hardware, our core, and removes it out of your office. You don't have the capital expense to buy a phone system. You have your monthly expense. And no hardware to upkeep yourself except for a phone. We take your information, you say you want, you know, 30 desk phones. We ask you who it should be programmed for. We just deliver the phones, you plug them into your network, and they just work. If you have somebody transition and you have a new employee, you send it, we update it, we let you know that it's updated, you unplug it, plug it back in, it downloads the new firmware, and it's set and ready for your new person. You choose to move offices, you unplug your phones, you take them 6 blocks west or wherever you're going across country, plug them in, they just work. It doesn't really matter. For distributed offices, we have one accounting firm. One accounting firm, he has his office set up, and then he has an extension in his study at home, 6005 I think it is for his extension. So somebody can transfer calls to that phone. They're not dialing out, they're not toll charged for that. It's just behind there, it's his office network. So regardless of physically where it is, then he has free calls because it's just routing across the existing internet bandwidth that he's using already.
Wow, that's very interesting. So just from the decision of diode of all this coming out that you guys came up with that idea.
Say again, please.
Just from the fact that the technology was just keep coming, then you guys decide to come up with this solution over here.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, building a puzzle. We have all these pieces. How do we put it together the best way to make life easier? And you know, I'm all about simple, and a lot of those technologies come with pre-existing certifications.
And this is the other thing,
And to get something certified and ready for prime time takes a lot of time and money. So if we can leverage certifications off satellite modems, off Wi-Fi chipsets, put them together in a box, and then do the more simpler FCC certification saying that we aren't messing these up in any way, then it's a lot quicker to a solution, and we're not in RF chambers and doing all these long drawn-out testing. We're leveraging those existing certifications and just trying to put them together smartly and put the puzzle together in a way that we think people will really like and will enhance their lives and make life simple.
What do you consider, Tom, your biggest challenge so far?
Biggest challenge, we're all engineers. You know, the fun part is coming up with these products and putting them together, and then the biggest challenge is how do we go, and I'm sure some of your viewers are going to look at us like, oh great, we're going to go talk to them and help them succeed, which I'm all for. But, you know, getting out there and doing the sales, none of us are true salesmen.
Oh, I see what I mean.
We're all engineers. We like to do that, but, you know, we have to learn. And, you know, I enjoy meeting and talking to new people, so that part of it's easy, and we believe in it. So that's the second half, or the second part, and the third part is just getting out there and doing it when we kind of would rather be playing.
Yeah, I know what I mean.
You know, playing with the technology.
Yeah, no. Okay, I understand. Well, it's just forcing yourself into it.
Yeah.
And then it gets easier and easier.
Yeah.
I guess that's
what they tell us.
Well, I guess just believe them.
Yeah. Believe and go.
And what is the biggest win? What is the accomplishment? What are you the proudest of about your business?
I'm proudest that we have achieved in our eyes the simplicity and the pulling the things together, and secondarily the satellite appliance. I think that is a huge
Tell me about the cellular
huge.
appliance.
That's the bridge.
Oh, the bridge. Okay, I got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the item that, throw it in your car, drive out into the wilderness, and you still can call, and you can still receive calls if you want. You can pull it out of your car, set it in your cabin, or leave it next door to your cabin, and the Wi-Fi will provide you coverage. Put it on your boat and go out in the Gulf of Mexico fishing, and you can still call even though there's no cellular thing around. That's probably
That's huge.
our proudest technological advance, even though we are extremely happy with how we simplified the GSM VoIP gateway and the PBX, and making it easy when you just want a network and don't want to have to buy it and install it and figure out how to configure and run those two things.
That used to be a problem. I remember when getting calls or whatever, they got to come to your house and this, that, the other thing, or they'll propose for me to do that. I'm like, so you can do it yourself. I'm like,
Yeah. Remind them that's why they're there. Huh?
And then the tech guy will come and sit there for an hour and to implement. The tech guy himself challenges the thing.
Yeah, that's when you know you're stuck.
That's great. I'm really, that's remarkable.
Yeah, we're happy with it.
A lot of people are looking for simplicity. I guess, marketing, getting the word out is your thing, because I had a friend of mine, she works for a printing company, of course she changed now, whatever it was doing is like nothing else. Now they gotta learn this, that, the other thing. It's not simple enough, easy enough. And not only that is, as you say, 3 months from now, it is the next thing, the next thing. It just doesn't make much sense to me.
Yeah, and with our hosted service, you just order it. The phone comes, you plug it into your network, and you can't be simpler. If you, for some reason you got tired of the phone, you could swap it out, and you just plug in the next one. And the quality is good. It's HD voice.
Yeah, I saw it at Expo.
Yeah, so
That's remarkable.
yeah, we're happy with it.
How about overseas? Are you planning to get it overseas? Being that you noticed that they have a weakness at the get-go.
Yeah, the first way to do it overseas is talk to some international companies, and we are, and allowing us to, integrate into their either legacy infrastructure or bring in our infrastructure from the start, whether it's hosted or into their closets, because some of the larger companies like to have the hardware in their areas. They just prefer it. They have the staff, they have it, they can have that, they have the means to do that capital expenditure up front, and so they do it, but look to help them cut international calling costs by putting our equipment on both ends. They're already paying for bandwidth. We segment it off, we segment a little bit off, do some quality assurance so that the calls take priority, so the voice doesn't get damaged, or you don't have dropouts. But the international companies, putting them on both ends, as I explained earlier, and using that for least cost routes. So calling in between and just keeping it on the internet, on the digital backbone of the company, is really the easiest way to break overseas and use those. And the studies, we estimate that companies within 3 months will pay off the expense in the savings that they see.
And let me ask you this. It's a wild question, maybe on this. You probably just answered already. Can an individual use that?
They can. We do actually. What started out as geared for business, we actually host them. We have some hosted with a business partner up in Pennsylvania, and then we'll lease the channels. So, for instance, on my phone, I have a business line, and it's off our hosted unit.
I got you.
And so that circuit is dedicated to me. I have that number as a business number, and I use it with my personal phone. So when it comes in, I know it comes in on my business extension. I answer it, and so we do have plans to handle that. Just trying to think of ways to make it scalable from 1 to thousands.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Because that's really, that way pretty much it can be accessible to anybody, which you want, because the value of the product is such that you wouldn't want somebody to be left out.
Right.
Not having the opportunity, knowing about it as a guy, I want them to can say, sorry, you cannot, because, you know.
Well, yeah, and there's a lot of people that start out. I started with just one person in a company, and you don't want to buy a full-up system, so you lease that. We have nonprofits that may be small. We do offer, you know, concessions to nonprofits and make it easier on them to get up and going with communications and these features that, you know, maybe you don't want to spend a lot of money on wild feature sets or really robust feature sets because you're conscious of the nonprofit's money. You don't want to go blow it on high-end items. So we do acknowledge that and try and provide our full feature sets for, you know, those that are really on a budget. Okay. So.
Well, I thank you very much. I just want to put in over here our guests, talk to them about the breakfast event.
Sure.
We host the third Thursday of the month a breakfast event in Fairfax. It's at the Old Town Hall, 3999 University Drive. The next one is on February 28th, 7:30. Get together with 30, 40 business owners. And I think that'll be a great opportunity for all of you to come and make some connection and grow your business. We also have our next expo coming, which will be the 10th anniversary. We'll be at the Stacy Sherwood Community Center. That is on June 20th. And come on out. We'll be from 8 to 2. We're going to have a lot of seminars there this time around. We want to have some tech seminars, some cyber seminar, definitely. So, because that's a subject of great interest to people.
Yeah.
Again, I want to thank you, and you folks, I want to say thank you again for tuning in, and looking forward to talking to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This program was brought to you by Organo Gold. Organo Gold is a health and wellness company that provides healthy coffees, teas, and chocolate. All one has to do is consume the available products to get all the available benefits. One can also share these products with others to help them improve their health as well. For more information, call 703-359-5642 or visit the website basilemba.com.